is Leonard Wamala from West TV. I have two questions. One.
Make it one, please.
Okay. I don't know if I missed because I have not heard of the timelines of your operation. When are you supposed to finalize and conclude and give the Kenyans the product?
The product is due for 7th March. This was informed even as we were established on the 6th of August. So we have about 6-7 months to complete the report. So by 7th March, we'll be making the presentation of this report.
Okay,
Yes. Another question?
Grace,
Hello, Grace.
just a follow-up for that. You've been in office since the 6th of August to now.
Yes.
What I wonder for that period,
Yes.
what has the committee been up to? Because now you have to race against time.
Yes.
And is this remaining timely enough?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
What challenges do you face?
yes. Yeah, so there's a lot that can be happening back end. What we have now is a matrix for engagement along the 10-point agenda and along the NADCO report. Remember, all those issues in the NADCO report, including the audit of 2022, including the issue of the IBC reconstitution, right coming back to the issue of Article 43, and all the legislative agenda therein. In the NADCO report, for each of the issues that were raised, and the NADCO report just didn't take the initial issues. You know, in their statement of issues, they mentioned various issues. But when the stakeholders came on board, 708 stakeholders, 258 memorandums that they received, 60 stakeholders who were expert stakeholders came back. Therefore, the raft of issue increased, and in each of those issues, they made observations, collected information, made observations, and made recommendations. It's a raft of a lot of recommendations, which over time we've put. For us to get to this stage, when now we can go to the various stakeholders and say, for example, for the community-based organizations, to the ministries, to the independent commissions, to the state departments, to the various organizations that we are contacting with, these are the issues means we've had to go into the NADCO report, extract these, and be able to write the specific issues, because these issues are not homogeneous across the board. They're heterogeneous. So one organization is dealing with certain aspects, for example, various commissions and various ministries, and others are dealing with various aspects. So we have to disaggregate. So we send the relevant issue. The third issue that we've been dealing with, which is very important, is the issue of defining our scope. What is our scope for coverage? And we've agreed our scope for coverage is the whole of the NADCO report. So it's going to be a lot of data there that we've been preparing in terms of putting it together and sending out the stakeholder requests for memorandum. If you look at some of the stakeholders' memorandum that we've sent out to, and we have enlisted about 206 stakeholders, and many more are coming on board, some who didn't participate in the NADCO initially, because our focus has been on the implementing agencies. But we do realize that every Kenyan has a right, and every Kenyan might want to say something about the 10-point agenda. So we have disaggregated to realize that on the NADCO report, there are certain issues that we have to ask the implementing organizations. For example, to what extent is the two-thirds inclusivity issue being put into place? To what extent is the austerity 30% reduction in expenses? To what extent has the debt bill, the wage bill, gone down? Has it reduced from the 12.06 trillion, for example? Where are we standing? What is happening with devolution and the 415 billion that has been sent into the counties? So it's lots of data. My lady, what is her name? Grace. Yeah? So these are the issues. And to put all this together is very, very important for you to get the right output product. So we do have now the output product, and we will share. We'll have various meetings with various stakeholders. We will share. In those issues that we are tackling, we're looking at what is the issue, what is the scope, and then we're asking what is the key indicator? What is the performance? What is the key performance indicator, the KPI? How will we know? For example, Mr. Bigambo has talked about the various legislation that has taken place. So, for example, if we're looking at the Election Offences Act amendment, we know this has already been passed in Senate. So we are going to say our key performance indicator is legislation assented to. If we cannot get to the finality of that key KPI, we're going to ask what is happening? Where is this piece of legislation stuck? And how do we unclog? And then how do we make sure that it is actually getting to the place where it can be assented to? And I'll let you know that in the various ministries that we have gone into to have stakeholder discussions with, many variant issues are rising, which are very, very key and very, very important. We're not just asking about the issues, we're asking about the challenges so that we propose, because our report will cover both political issues, administrative issues. We can also propose various recommended actions that will help the various actions that are needed to take place. Because what is our final outcome and output? That, as implementing agencies and overseeing that implementation agenda, that the whole of the NADCO report is implemented to its full, and then also the 10-point agenda. So to the people of Kenya, to the young people, to the women, to the men, to the ones who are more advanced in age and the younger people, all these issues are issues we're tackling with, but most of the time, before you can get the data, you've got to prepare. And it's been an extensive preparation process, but from the output that we're able to get out of this, we'll be able to subsume the various areas and be able to give the data from the people who have given this data. We encourage Kenyans, especially those who are able to bring their memorandum, please do so to the Magadi room. We will really appreciate.
Chair,
And also, just a minute, and also, before that, yeah, it's all right. So also, when it comes to the various agenda that will be brought, we want to also indicate that we will have also memoranda that can come electronically. There's an email address that has been given that will make it easy to collect the data.
Chair, do you have enough finances? Because we all know, and one of these indicated, do you have enough finances to go around the country? We know that those are hindrance of finance. Now,
I want to say this. I want to answer you this way, that this program is being prepared from the political parties, and we have reached this stage where we are going out into the counties to do that. Some provisions have to be put in place before we can make a statement like this. Thank you. Yes.
My name is Luka from the
Yes.
Kenyans would love to hear what is the status of implementation. You have 2 months in this.
Yes. Yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yes.
Where are we in terms of implementing the 10-point agenda?
Yes. Yes.
Remember, back there, a senior official,
Yes.
the National Assembly Minority Leader, said
Yes.
that 50% are already implemented.
Yes.
Is that the case?
Yes.
And lastly, are you also going to achieve the united opposition?
Okay, so what I've said is that on the 7th of March, we will have the report put out there. What you're asking for is a scorecard, and that is something this committee is considering for the various issues so that we can give an indication. We have had information and also approaches from stakeholders in the united opposition who would like also to be stakeholders in this process. We are opening this to all Kenyans. We cannot say we don't want from you. What gives us that discretionary power to do that as a committee? We want to receive as much as possible because this is a way in a united format to solve those problems. So we are listening to everybody. We are welcoming any memoranda that comes our way, any insights that are coming our way. We are urging members of the public to speak. And that's why we're going to be collecting the data. In research, we call it triangulation. We're not just going to receive memoranda. We're also going to have public forums. We'll have the people in the counties talk and tell us the issues. We'll have those who can be able to key in via email to do so. So we'll be able to put this together, and we'll be able to relate to where the data is coming from.
Last one. Yes, I've got 2 questions. I'm Chris Ovino from Rwanda TV. All right. Yeah, on the issue about the implementation of the NADCO 10-point We've had a discussion with the president and the ODM party leader. Is there political will from the president that eventually when this report comes out, it will be implemented, it will not take the route that other reports that are QE report, Doom report has taken?
Yeah.
And, on the issue of the scale of 1 to 10, maybe you can just give us how far are you in terms of the implementation of the 9
I want to contextualize your question in terms of the mandate that we have. Remember, we have a two-pronged mandate in that sense of the question you've asked. The principals are the ones who signed the MOU and were part of the team that constituted this team. In the mandate that they have put there and in terms of our operations, if you remember, on the 18th of August, we had the joint PG. Every 2 months, we have to give a report to the principals. These principals are able to see what the committee is doing and consult with committee accordingly. So there's going to be a total of 4 reports. One on the 18th of August, another that came on the 6th of October, another that went out on the 6th of December. These are progress reports. You know, you're looking at the final product as we are going through the process. And then the last report to the principals is going to be on the 6th of February. And then to the nation is going to be on the 7th of March. Thank you very much, members. Have a good afternoon. Yes, so they are our principals, all right? They have sent us for this task, all right? They have sent us for this task, and in our communication with them, as we discuss the various issues, they are very committed to this process.
Maybe just to answer. Just answer. Because you have asked a pertinent question in regards to the commitment of the President, under this committee, we have 2 members of UDA, myself and the Vice Chair, Javas Bigambo. And yesterday when we met the President, we were meeting the President in his capacity as the party leader and the leader of the National Steering Committee. Yesterday we were having a conversation with the National Steering Committee of UDA Party, where we were putting them, or we were informing them at where we are in terms of implementation of the 10-point agenda, so that now the Steering Committee on Monday, when they convene the National Governing Council of UDA Party, whereby they're calling all the elected leaders, they're going to inform them as they inform them on the implementation of the manifesto. So that is a serious commitment of UDA Party and the President of the Republic of Kenya.
So,
thank you very much.
Maybe just as to wrap up that, because we have opened up the area of the sessions that lie ahead, and therefore we can conclude on that. Even at the meeting yesterday, we are due again to meet. You know, when we talk about the reporting to the principals, it's meant to be both the principals, and we are doing that to both the principals. So shortly again, and we already had discussions with Senator Dr. Oburu on the same issues. So these issues keep coming up, and we are moving on to interactions. The other important thing to say to you is that a lot of goodwill and disseminating of information and packaging and giving the right message to the constituents will come from the members of Parliament. So even as we go into the various counties, we'll be engaging with them and enabling them to be able also to see where we are, to interact with us in terms of this process, and in the various PGs also give the results of our outcomes, discuss them, even as we move towards completing them, because you always have preliminary results, and then we move into the final results, so that we're all reading from the same pages, so that we can say, for you, as parliamentary group, this is important for you. Can you unclog? For example, if we're talking about bicameral relations, for example, between the 2 houses, you know, what are the 2 houses saying? How can they be unclogged? If we're talking about resources, for example, in the counties, what is happening? The World Development Fund, can the members be put together so that the process and solutions can be found together? So, you know, in our mandate, it says intensive and extensive consultations. And we're making those very intensive and extensive consultations. I thank you and good afternoon. Asanteni sana.